We're going to look at the Snippets feature of RapidWeaver, and snippets are blocks of HTML code or CSS or both, and they are used to add some different features to your website. You can create your own snippets if you are good at coding, or you can download free ones online. There is a add-ons section at the Real Mac Software website where you can find hundreds of snippets. I'm sure by now there are hundreds of them. I've got a folder here on my desktop that has 64 snippets in here, so there's quite a few I've collected, and you can see the icon is this blue document, and then the extension is RW snippet for each file. And so you can download these individually and then add them to RapidWeaver. And so I've started off without RapidWeaver open because you need to install these first. So I'm just going to take one to start with. I'm going to double click this one called Lorem Ipsum Medium. I'm just going to double click that, and RapidWeaver launches and lets me know the snippet is installed. And so I say OK, and I will create a new project. And if I go up to View and Show Snippets, which is also the Command 5 shortcut, I will see in this list, this is my snippets panel, and right now I have one snippet added, and that is the Lorem Ipsum Medium. And so this is the title of the snippet, and if I were to double click on that, it would open up this panel with the title and then the actual code. And this is not real code, this is simply some dummy text. That's what Lorem Ipsum is. You may have seen it before. And so I just have this saved so that when I create projects and don't have my content prepared, I want to go ahead and fill in some areas. I can just simply put this into my document real quickly. And so I'm going to add a style text page. And then I'm going to show you how to use the snippet. Simply for this, I'm going to put this in the content area of my website. And so I'm just going to grab the title of it, drag it in. You see the plus icon appear. Drop it, and then that text is placed into the in the content area. And when I preview, we see my Lorem Ipsum dummy text. And so this is a quick way to get this content added, to kind of start seeing how your website is going to lay out with content before you type it in yourself. So I'm going to close my snippets panel and close RapidWeaver and go back here, and we're going to look at where these are located. If you go to your home directory and into Library, the Application Support folder, and then the RapidWeaver folder, you'll see some things here. These are plugins and third-party themes that you've installed, as well as theme styles, which we've looked at before, and then snippets. Here's a snippets folder, and if I were to open that, I would see my one snippet that I've added here. And the quick way to add multiple snippets is to browse to this directory and then drop those files in to this folder. So I'm going to open up my snippets folder again and just do a Command All to copy. Just select all and then copy. I'm going to paste in. I'm going to replace the one that I've already put in there. And now I have all my snippets in the Application Support folder for RapidWeaver. And here they are. Now when I close these out and go back to RapidWeaver, if we do another View Snippets, which is a Command 5, I'll see a long list of my snippets. And I actually see the number that I've added here, 64. You can add your own snippet by doing the plus sign, naming it, just call it New Snippet, and then you put your code here, or your text, or whatever it is that you'd like to save. And if I save, I can do a search for new, and there it is, New Snippet. So all of these have new in them somewhere, and that's why I got that result. But you can quickly filter through if you know the name of your snippet or some of the content that's inside using this search function. So we're going to look at a couple of other ways to use snippets. I'm going to actually use code this time. I'm going to add my style text page. I'm going to open up the page inspector and go back to my snippets, and I have one that creates a table. And to start with, let me find it. This TSP, it's a table styles pack that was created by one of the RapidWeaver users. It's a great pack of snippets to get you a table. But I'm going to use this, and the first thing you do is open up to take a look at the CSS, and this is the style sheet for the table. And so because it's a style sheet, I don't actually want to put it into the content of my website. I want to put it into the custom CSS panel, which we looked at in the last tutorial. So I'm going to go back to my page header and click on the CSS tab. And now in my custom CSS panel, I'm just going to grab, actually I'm going to use chocolate. These are all different style sheets. You can tell that because they have CSS appended to the title. And so I'm going to grab this one called chocolate CSS and drag it and drop it into the custom CSS panel. And now all of my CSS is here. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of code that is used for this table. And it's now in the CSS area, and that's the first step of adding this. Next step is to put the HTML into the content area. So I'm going to take my base table layout HTML and grab that and drop it right here. So we have a lot of code that is created, but it's really simple because I just dragged it and dropped it in. So I'm going to preview and take a look at kind of how this is shaping up. Oh, there it is down there. So we have a quick table, and now I just need to edit these areas here. I can go back and highlight all this and format it as HTML code right here. We've done that before, and that highlights it all green. And now that places the table up at the top. A lot of space was created because I hadn't formatted that here in the edit mode. So that's a good idea with using any kind of HTML code, is to go ahead and format it through the Format HTML menu here as code. So now that I'm there, I can simply rename my header columns here. I could say 1. I'll just delete these out and preview. We can see now that these columns have changed names, and so it's simple as that. The table is created for us with the code, and then we're just going in and modifying some basic parts here to get the table laid out the way we want. And so that's a really quick and easy way to do that because of the snippets feature. And so take a look online at the Real Mac Software website. Browse through the snippets and see what's available. If you do some custom coding already, then the snippets panel here is a great place just to collect those so that you're not retyping them or finding them online and pasting them over and over. So whenever you find something, you can just place it here, like we saw a minute ago with lorem ipsum. It's not even code, it's just something that I'm frequently going to use as I create websites. So I simply place those snippets into the panel so that I can quickly access those and drop content into my page. So it's a often overlooked feature in RapidWeaver, but if you learn how to utilize it, it can really help speed things up and automate a lot of tasks that otherwise would be more tedious. So that is what you need to know about the snippets.